All right, everybody, reinventing DevOps. I really like that term for our reinvent recap for Optimize Your AWS Fest. Cloud Therapist at WWT, Chris Williams.
Hey,
Wait,
everybody.
you're a cloud therapist too? Wait a second. Wait a second. I got to bring on our other cloud therapists. And in fact, you know what? Bring him on. Richard, are you there? Oh, he's coming on. Bring on your camera. Oh, and in fact, all right, well, he's coming on.
Hold
Let
on,
me
where's
get
my
ready
note?
for my session.
Your session will start now.
All right. I'm ready, guys. Can you give me
Okay.
my therapy session for this one?
Tell me about the first. No, never mind.
I was wondering if this question was going to be really that I was going to have to mute you. I have to tell you.
No Freudian
Uh,
questions or anything
Claudian,
of that nature.
Claudian, not Freudian.
Not
Claudian,
Freudian, Claudian questions. Excellent.
Claudian
Cloudian
questions.
questions. There we
Excellent.
go.
Excellent.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for joining and congratulations on your AWS Hero status and all the
Hmm.
videos that you did there at reInvent.
Thank you. Yeah, it was super fun. Reinvent for me is it's exhilarating, but it's also like I get up at 6 in the morning, and if I'm lucky, I'm back in bed by midnight. And it's literally from running from one place to the next, doing recordings, getting the thoughts and ideas down from the other AWS heroes, from the attendees that are coming on the conference room floor, in the expo hall, catching up with old friends. I'm an old hat at conferences and attending these things. So there's a lot of people, yourself included, that I have to find and talk to, cut the videos and then try to glean some insights from them, because the keynotes come hard and fast. There's a lot of information coming very quickly, and a lot of opinions that I'm trying to capture from all of the different types of heroes. We've got DevTools heroes, we've got serverless heroes, we've got community heroes, and all of them have a little bit of a different opinion to it, myself included. And yeah, it's bananas. It goes really fast and really slow at the same time.
The week, I'll tell you what, before I actually get to that one, Chris, how about a little introduction for everybody that's listening or watching live on who you are and what you do
Sure. So
besides
my name
therapy
is.
sessions?
Well, the joke is, I'm a principal cloud solutions architect for Worldwide Technologies. I've basically, my day job is helping Fortune 100s get to the cloud, reinvigorate their cloud. From cost optimization to cloud operating models to governance, people, policy, and tools. That's what I help our customers do. The joke of the title Cloud Therapist, which I talked my boss into letting me have, is that I'm spending 95% of my time working with people and governance and policy, and 5 to 10% of my time actually working through technology issues. So I'm an engagement, I'm an EA, I'm a PCSA, but a lot of my time is spent helping my SAs and SEs with those technology questions through the lens of humanity. So therefore, cloud therapist. Oh, and I have a degree in psychology too, so that really, really helps.
Oh my God. I feel like I got to go back to the couch. Stay tuned, everybody, as we will have future sessions sitting here on the couch, not only with Chris, but we have 2 therapists in session. Actually, 2
you
of
you do
you
need
again.
2 therapists, John.
Yeah, so do I. But so all right,
So there's
Chris.
the other one.
Yeah.
Both Johns.
I tell you. Okay, Chris, let's talk a little bit more about reInvent
Yeah.
and some of the things that you were doing there. What was let's just go in. What were you most excited for with regards to some of the releases or the events that were taking place?
So me and a couple of the other heroes at the beginning of this on V Brown Bag, we actually had a conversation around this. And the thing that I was really looking forward to, so in my role at Worldwide, my job is to help our customers go from, oh, hey, that's a really cool idea, to this is a production level thing running in a data center somewhere and making the company money. That's where spend all of my time. So what I'm looking for every time I go to a conference is what's going to help to shorten that window. What is going to help the developers get that idea into code faster? What's going to help them? What's going to help the product managers visualize and sell that faster? What's going to help the business understand and grok and be able to leverage that idea faster? And every facet in between. So from my perspective, the things that I got really excited about, and literally everybody else here has kind of touched upon those slices as well, was CodeCatalyst. So from the DevOps perspective,
You took my question. Oh, I was gonna.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So
As a
that's my
developer
opinion,
guy,
John.
yeah.
What question would you like to ask me?
So, Chris, what were your thoughts around Amazon CodeCatalyst when it came out and was released?
I'm glad you asked that question because I've got a prepared statement here. No, so like I said, going from ideation to production is what everybody is looking for. How do we turn things into money faster? Basically, let's be honest. And from a pure, so I had a couple of favorites there. There's the purely DevOps answer, which was CodeCatalyst. But then there's all of the love that developers got from AWS this year, which manifested itself in the form of Application Composer and Event Bridge pipes, in my opinion. So App Composer, Beswick talked about it for a second. That's the ability to visualize your serverless patterns. But from the DevOps side, you can also visualize your infrastructure as code patterns as well, which is huge. And all of these services are currently in preview. So there's a lot of I have a lot of questions. There's a lot of things that I already have a laundry list of feature requests to add to the existing services.
To CodeCatalyst?
To CodeCatalyst, to event, Composer, not so much Event Bridge pipes because I haven't gotten too much into it. I'm trying to marinate in each of these services one at a time so that I'm not overwhelming myself. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I really want to see come to bear with CodeCatalyst. Right now it's CloudFormation only. Excuse me, no, CloudFormation and SAM. What would be? I mean, Werner in his keynote said third party, and he said the name GitHub twice. I clutched my pearls. I was like, oh, did Werner say another company's name on stage? He did. He said GitHub, not once, but twice. And so there's a tacit acknowledgement that other things exist out in the ecosystem. And so I'm looking for more of those types of third-party integrations. For Composer, for Catalyst, I would love to see some Terraform integrations. That would be amazing. But
I think that's coming up.
Back to the wider view of this. This is a fantastic step in the right direction, in my opinion. A lot of times the DevOps teams, if they're using code pipe, there's a lot of care and feeding and maintenance of your dev environment, of your perf, your staging, your UAT, your everything before you even your pre-prod and then eventually your prod. So anything that helps to set that up faster, anything that helps to make that easily repeatable pattern that takes care of that, as we like to say, undifferentiated heavy lifting off of the DevOps team and off of the development team is a huge plus in my book.
Okay, Chris, before I turn things over to Richard for a couple of questions, I want to touch on CodeCatalyst. When it was released during Warner's keynote, I actually was installing and deploying it same day. And there was
Nice.
an AWS folk that reached out on LinkedIn. I've connected with the CodeCatalyst team and I had direct questions. Like, one of the things I immediately did not like was I had to go and create a new builder ID and it wasn't integrated in the AWS console. And I was like, why? What was the thought process behind this? And what the answer they gave me made total sense on why they did it. Here's why they separated them is because you as a developer and builder are not always going to be tied to that company or organization. You take your ID and your ideas and projects that you might have created, you can take them with you. You will have access to other projects that are part of an organization that you get enabled and attached to, but ultimately you can move around if needed. And it's almost like your certification account or your IQ account. Those are yours and yours only, and you can still be attached to an organization. What are your thoughts on that?
So my most favorite thing about AWS reInvent is the fact that all of the NDAs that I'm under evaporate. with the exception of this one. I can't talk about what's happening with that, but if I were a betting man, I would say that they were trying to, think of a way to abstract away from the account because of exactly that reason. Right now, everything is account based. And if you look at the Azure subscription model, you can see that you can have multiple subscriptions. GCP has a project based model. There's a lot of ways out there that you can create identity and have identity affiliated with an account. So I think it's a fantastic idea. I would love to see something in the near future on that coming out of AWS.
I think their integration with CodeCatalyst and allowing, and I think the future is third-party integration, allowing you to kind of pull in some of those existing ones. It's still a day one mentality, even with the blueprints to be able to deploy out. You're not operating it; you're deploying out infrastructure as code. I enjoy CodeCatalyst. I'm still playing around with it and deploying it. It's only available in US West 2, so the Oregon region, which I think is great because they stopped doing it everything in Virginia and they spawned out all their services, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, and that has been something that people have been asking about for a long time.
Yep.
IAM has always been a slog. It's always been something that people have had to like figure out and then break and then remember that, oh, fudge, all of my S3 buckets are unsecured because of this one weird trick that I forgot to do. And so yeah, it's something that has been, as the services mature, and we can get into it too, because I love the way that they're making the services play better together now as well. As the services mature and as the overall view and posture of the entire user experience, not just within a service but across services matures, you're going to see things that help to tie identity and IAM in a much more succinct bow.
I agree. Okay, so now I'm going to leave the remaining 5 minutes for therapist to therapist talk, and we'll see what
Hey.
comes out of this. You're on, Richard.
Thank you, Chris. Excellent. Thank you for your insights. Really appreciate it, and thank you for coming on to this as well. Really cool. So I had first question, nice and easy. I think. What was what's kind of your favorite news out of reInvent? What did you kind of really pick on from there? You can maybe do like two even or more if you like.
My favorite service or my favorite news?
Favorite news. Yeah, it's kind of what was kind of really cool for you that you thought was a kind of a cool announcement.
So I think, I mean, I have to stick with, I mean, just the entire concept. So my big, not my biggest beef, but my one of the beefs that I have is that AWS has a whole bunch of two pizza teams. They're all, creating these services kind of in a co-opetition with each other. And there's been in the past a lot of overlap on service offerings and oh, well, we do this. Oh, but now we do this too. With these service announcements this year, there has been a tacit acknowledgement that that's not a good thing. Tacit, maybe, but now services are starting to play together nicely. We are now starting to see with Event Bridge pipes a preferred mechanism for making things play together. Instead of creating your own glue to mash these services together, AWS has now made a mechanism for us to do that to stop people from trying to figure out how to like cram a Lambda in there.
Stop figuring out how to glue them together is what you're saying?
That is exactly correct.
That's a dad joke for you. Sorry.
No, I got it. It was terrible. I was trying to ignore it.
That's what.
So that's what I'm most excited about is services playing together. I think this is the start of something that's going to like not catch on, but snowball and turn into a larger flywheel of
Yeah.
services playing better together within the same. I mean, it's one ecosystem. They want it to be. They've wanted historically for it to be a walled garden. Now they're actually making the things play together better.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
That's
I
what
mean,
excited me.
yeah, it's this kind of there's a whole bunch of services, but you as a customer's got to go and put them together, and
Correct.
it's up to you how you want to, as John said, kind of glue those together. But now it's kind of actually we should do some of the gluing for you, right? To
Right.
kind of make it a
Right.
little bit easier, right?
Yeah, they've always given us the Legos,
Yeah,
but they haven't always given us the, oh well, this is how you should put them together.
right, right. Excellent. Now, the other thing I mentioned in the last AWS Fest event that we had was GitOps, and we've seen also recently that Flux as a CNCF project has graduated. So.
Mhm.
Um, I kind of see GitOps sort of fitting in that sort of tail end of the second CD of CI/CD in
Mhm. Mhm.
DevOps. So how do you kind of see those sort of working in the future? Will we kind of see GitOps being attached to the back end of that sort of pipeline, or are these things going to stay separate? What's kind of your take on that?
I, so because of the way that CodeCatalyst has come out, I think there's going to be a more tightening of the integration. It's an unfortunate byproduct of people trying to like make developers do ops things and make ops people do developer things that we are trying to mash them all under one roof. Um, having a two pizza team where you've got some developers and you've got some operations people, and
Mm,
the ops people understand more of the code catalyst on the operations side. I think long answer short, I think there's going to be a continued desire to like jam everything into each person's head. Unfortunately,
mm.
because people are harder than technology. As a fellow cloud therapist, you understand that statement better than
Yes,
most.
yes,
It's easier to just create one rec that has Git, Java, infrastructure as code, CloudFormation, and Terraform than it
yeah.
is to have team A doing this and team B doing that, and then making them
Mm.
play together nicely as humans. So I see the resistance, but I also see the desire for businesses to mash them together.
Right, right. I see. I think we there's a potential for us to kind of create a practice together, a cloud therapist practice together. Maybe
I think
that might be a good idea.
you grabbed the YouTube thing. I didn't think to do that, so I heartily encourage this. We should team up
Sounds like a
like
good plan.
Sigmund and
Well,
Roy, Sigmund and
now that
Freud.
my cloud therapy session has come to an end, what's my diagnosis?
You're bananas. You're out of here. You got to go. We're gonna put you in a
Oh,
rubber room with a straight jacket and a feeding tube. I don't know what John.
have you
I,
have you
I,
seen my office? So you've been to my office then, right?
John, I'd take Chris's diagnosis there because mine was a bit more drastic and probably can't say it on air.
Are you committing me? Is that what you're saying? Are you putting a
I would,
24-hour hold on me?
I never said that. I never said anything. My
Oh,
lips are sealed.
okay. So, guys, you are definitely awesome. This has been very insightful. In fact, me sitting back on the couch and listening to the therapist talk, and I not having to talk was actually worth it. This session.
It was
Don't. I'll send you
therapeutic.
my bill.
It was therapeutic, John. Right?
It was very therapeutic. In fact, now it's time to bring on some magic, and then
All
we
right.
have an
Cool.
Oculus to raffle off.